Hi guys, welcome back to chapter 41, published April 15th, 2023. Chapter 41. When we left the house, our eyes were puffy and red from crying so much, but I still owed my daughter a trip to the boardwalk. We put on our shades to block out the haters and drove to the boards. We ate the biggest, most delicious slices of pizza I've ever consumed. Walked around for a little and bought a few small things, but it was so loud and bright and happy. My daughter took my hand and said, "Can we just go home, Mommy?" We tried. Once we got home, we were exhausted. We laid in my bed together and stared at the ceiling, the way I did when Betsy died. We talked a bit and processed a lot. That night, somehow, I had the best sleep I'd had in months. When I awoke the following morning, I was overcome by dread at the thought of everything I'd have to face. My brother and my breakup. But then something happens. I heard the voice of Eckhart Tolle in my head. Accept it as if you had chosen it yourself. And just like that, I did. Miracle. A shift in perception from false to true. An unconditional, instantaneous, and free deliverance from the imprisoning yet illusory problems of this world. A Course in Miracles. It was the first time in my life that I can identify accepting acceptance. The pain in my womb I had been carrying for weeks left me, and peace came. Thank you so much. My love told me several times that he would pray to his grandmothers to help him with our relationship. I never met them and I never told him this, but I would pray to them too. One of them had a connection to lions and reminded him of me and my connection to lions. I was born under a Leo sun. She was betrayed and left to live out the rest of her life all alone, as was the case with the great-grandmother. Maybe this is their way of helping. It would not ever be in my highest good to stay with him, nor would it be in his to behave in ways that harm himself and others. Being separated from a great love is agonizing enough to drive one to change. We can only run for so long. For better or for worse, nobody ever gets away with anything. Not really. I had a dream of him early on. It took place in the middle of the woods, in a beautifully prolific setting. Except we were standing on the rubble of a stone house that had fallen. There were two large dogs, one of pure white, one of pure black. Lucidly, I recognized them as the dogs that he used to tell me about from his dreams. He was upset and begging for a chance to talk to me. I forget exactly what I said, but it was something like, "You really fucked up this time. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Get help." I heard from him within a few weeks post-breakup, asking about picking up his things. I gathered every last thing in my house that ever had him on it. Clothes, stuffed animals, mementos, letters, even things I had kept other times we had broken up, and set them on my front porch. Later he texted, "Thank you." I didn't respond, and that's the last I've heard from him. I didn't look back for a long time. I had bigger fish to fry. When he would come to me in dreams, he was just there in the background. I would be with his children or his mother, and he'd just be there. We would never speak. We would never interact. Recently, I had a dream where it was just the two of us. We didn't talk, but we were quietly working on something together. It was the real him. I could feel how much he loved me. I woke up feeling emotional, but lighter, like everything that was in between us was gone again. Love was pulling me in a different direction, so I followed. I soon heard from my brother and decided that so long as he was trying, I was trying. He was devastated and profoundly shamed. He eventually explained that him and his wife decided to call out of work for the next day, take drugs, and have a night of truth where she would tell all. It's like a bad joke. What do you get when you mix betrayal with drugs and a lifetime full of unexamined darkness? He was so out of his mind that he didn't know what happens. When he woke up and found her, he assumed that he didn't. The police had their theory, and it made sense, so he went with it. It turned out, however, that what they believed happened was disproven by the autopsy report. The case will likely go to trial, and the fate of my brother's life will be in the hands of perfect strangers. From a window in my cell, I can see only rooftops, but hope is found on the horizon and across atop a steeple. God loves to use broken people. He does not judge as the world does. He knows the heart. A father to the fatherless, the only one I've ever known. I guard my heart, my testimony, and my tongue, that in me others may see light in their own darkness. I know I am where I need to be, my spirit crushed, so that I may let go of my great pride. The world tells me I'm unwanted, lowly, and despised. I'm thought so dangerous that I'm kept in isolation. I control only my own perspective. I can't change the past, but I can do the best I can with what I have now. So either free or bound, let me not lose sight of that. That was from an article that my brother wrote while he was, recently. For the first time in his life, he's been able to finally begin talking about the nightmares he suffered as a child. Every kind of abuse endured, inflicted by those who were supposed to love him, nurture him, teach him. Much like nobody gets to the top by themselves, no one gets to the bottom that way either. All these people hurt from one act? No. It was many acts, leading to one moment where there was no turning back. Many acts, many bloody hands. Of all the sad stories I've heard in over 21 years of continuous sobriety, his and hers are the saddest. To the dismay of some, I find my resolve to love him even stronger. I am no less for doing so. I cannot fathom a human being leaving this earth not ever knowing what unconditional love feels like. I will love him even if I stand alone. For my part in it all, when the time comes, I will tell the exact truth according to my experience. I will hold on to faith and continue to trust that the right thing happens, whatever that may be. In contrast to my love, I feel deeply destined and personally responsible for collapsing the cycles in my family, in humanity. These horrendous, horrifying chains. Finally, I understood why I had to write this. What kind of world is this, where true love dies and indifference thrives? A very, very lost one. It's up to me to not let that be my story. I came here for a love story. I'm going to have a love story. Maybe it won't look the way I thought it would, but it will be, and it is already. A while back, I told a friend of how much I miss Betsy and how hard it is to find people like her in this world. He said, maybe that means you're supposed to be that for others. Oh, I see. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. Grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. To be understood as to understand. To be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive. It is in the pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in the dying that we are born. Prayer of St. Francis. The answer we're looking for is found in the place we least want to look. They are in Beowulf's Grendel. They are the dragon lurking deep in our caves, needing to be slayed. I know it feels scary, but it's going to be okay, I promise. More than okay. Hold on to hope and don't let go. No matter what happens, don't let go. If you're having a hard time finding it, Believe in the hope that I have for you, and I truly do. As they say, with hope, you are never anyone's prisoner. I can only slay my own dragon, but I can walk with you. We can walk together. I can give you the secrets that I have learned thus far. Hopefully others will give us theirs too. Please do. I meant in the comments. Just FYI. No matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. Alcoholics Anonymous. There's a better way. And like my friends, old man George, rest in peace, used to say, as long as there's a pulse, there's a chance. It's never too late or too early. Come, let's spill the real tea. So that's it. That's chapter 41. I guess I'm happy because I'm feeling relieved and I'm feeling like I almost accomplished a really big goal in firstly writing this, but now sharing it, and I faced some near paralyzing fears, and we're almost done, and that feels good. And the words in this chapter are a relief. Are like, they feel like a hug, no matter how corny that sounds. They do, because I could be alone for the rest of my life, and those knowings, those words will keep me warm. I know it sounds corny, but it's really true. Slay the dragon. Go in the dark. Find the dragon. Slay the dragon. Remove all the obstacles that are blocking the light from shining through. And keep on doing it. You can have the most amazing life. And for some of us, it takes prison, loads of pain. I'll just speak for myself, loads of pain and suffering before I was willing to crawl into that cave and start fighting my dragon. But what a relief that it's never too late. And that there's something really great out there for all of us. And I was thinking about the St. Francis prayer, and can you even understand another before you understand your own darkness? Can you understand outer darkness if you haven't understood your own? I don't think so. I think that the deeper you go in yourself is proportional in some ways to how much you can help other people, or how much I can help other people. You know does that make sense? Like 20 years ago, I could pick women up and take them to meetings and talk to them, and we could stay sober that night together. But I couldn't. I wouldn't have had anything to say about their deepest, darkest demons, other than, go to a meeting and don't drink, and that's sufficient. That's enough, generally. But you know, whatever. I guess it just goes back to that you can't give what you haven't got. So now that I've found love and understanding and light, then it becomes my job to serve the world with love and understanding and light, because that's what was given to me freely. And like Betsy always said, I can't keep what I have unless I give it away. And I think that's beautiful. So we're almost done. Next week we'll get more into, next week it's to the addicts and alcoholics struggling to find their way. And I did already do this chapter, but I gotta do it again to make sure it's in the playlist at the right point. So I'll do it again. And yeah, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.